Yes.
Like Beyonce
Going
said,
in.
that's revenge is your paper. Come on. Hey.
Go and get that check, go and get that check. Go and get that check, go and get that check. I gotta have them bands, yeah, money. If you ain't get into the money, you ain't do like us. Go and get that check, go and get that check. Go and get that check, go and get that check. I gotta have them bands, yeah, money. If you ain't get into the money, you ain't do like us. Money on the table, what did you expect?
This check.
You put in all that work, you had no regret. Gotta get this moolah, that's just my mindset. And we made it out the slums and the projects. I just won $2 million. Gucci, Louis, Fendi, Prada. It's all about the mighty dollar. If you don't pay your bills, no foul. That money pouring, no foul. Olympian money, I run to the check. Destination, everybody wanna go and get it. Tryna finesse. Go and get that check, go and get that check. Go and get that check, go and get that check. I gotta have them bands, yeah, running. If you ain't get into the money, you ain't do like us. Go and get that check, go and get that check. Go and get that check, go and get that check. I gotta have them bands, yeah, running. If you ain't get
It's your
into
boy
the
Blitz
money, you ain't do
Billy.
like
Young
us.
money like Tunchi. Street cred like Boosie. Iced out like Gucci. Free bands like Future. Got a million in the money counter. Feel like baby, I'ma buy an island. Feel like king, it ain't no limit. Get them racks in, then we spin it. Run bands like a marathon. Home run like I'm Barry Bonds. Young nigga kick stands with them. Every day it's a trap-a-thon. Polo, my rap lawn. Rolex, my right arm. Call the plug up for the thing. This time no stepped on.
Go and get that check, go and get that check. Go and get that check, go and get that check. I gotta have them bands, yeah, running. If you ain't get into the money, you ain't do like us. Go and get that check, go and get that check. Go and get that check, go and get that check. I gotta have them bands, yeah, running. If you ain't get into the money, you ain't do like us. I'm on mean lean, kerosene, fuck it. Headed to Peru, so you know I love it. Getting wealth every day, so you know I gotta pray. Got the universe speaking in a major way. I just got on stop pay today. If you want it, you can get it, gotta make a way. Tryna hop on the flight, get some foreign money. I've been hungry, so I'm just trying to fill my plate. You already thinking about it now. Shit. I talk about like cash, you know, get it back and shit. So you try for shit. Rap back, rap for shit. And your house is immaculate. See my DNA, I'm focused. Olympian money, I run to the check. Destination, everybody wanna go and get it. Tryna finesse. Go and get that check, go and get that check. Go and get that check, go and get that check. I gotta have them bands, yeah, running. If you ain't get into the money, you ain't do like us. Go and get that check, go and get that check. Go and get that check, go and get that check.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hold on, I got one more orange to eat. Yeah. Yes, I had to eat an orange, guys. I'm about to get started. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in, for coming through. Hopefully, y'all can hear me pretty good. We're streaming. I'm still streaming on Facebook today. Definitely YouTube. And let's go ahead and take that down. Of course, let's go ahead and get into the intro. Just want to make sure that y'all can hear me pretty good. All right, so yeah, if you are on Facebook or YouTube, definitely YouTube, then you can leave comments, or dialogue with me, or like, share, subscribe, definitely. Today, again, I appreciate you all for tuning in on this MindShift Monday. It's been a phenomenal day. Let me go ahead and just gotta make sure everything is everything. Okay. All right. So again, welcome to MindShift Monday, where we step out of our routine and Monday way of thinking and shift to a higher perspective. All right. We exercise everything else, so why not exercise the way that we think and see things? Okay. So that's what MindShift Monday is about. If you don't know, MindShift Monday is definitely about shifting our perspective to a higher mind, a higher way of seeing things. Because sometimes when we're too caught up in the trees, when we're too caught up in the forest, and we're still trying to navigate, it's kind of like still survival mode, which is fine. A lot of we're there, or we've been there, but we're also transitioning. And the only way sometimes you can transition out of that is to pull yourself out and to actually go a little bit higher. All right. So that you can kind of see the landscape and understand, oh, I can go this way. I can go this way, you know. So that's pretty much where we are when it comes down to MindShift Monday. So of course, as always, too, these streams are coming from a heart-based frequency. And of course, if you don't, I don't necessarily think I need to explain what it means, but a heart-based frequency means that I am basically bringing information that is not necessarily coming just from me saying, oh, I want to tell people something, I want to teach people something. No, because leading while learning is a journey. Effective self-leadership is a journey, and it's also really my journey as well. And I'm sharing it with people while I go through it. So when I do MindShift Monday, this is also episode 13. When I do MindShift Monday, everything that I'm sharing is coming from my heart. It's coming from a love frequency, a heart frequency. So that way, with intention, with pure intention, people can resonate how they need to, take what you need, leave what you don't, and we grow from there. All right. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and dive in. All right. So today, oh, and before I actually get into that, okay, so before I get into that, there is a link that I'm going to put in the comments area. And I don't know if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, I'm not sure if YouTube has it on there in the description, but I'll put it in the comments. And this link is basically to the program that I am going to have starting, that is launching March 27th, which is 13 intentions to effective self-leadership. All right. So this program is very near and dear to me because it's actually my first program that I would say second, because I did one a long time ago. But just right now in the position that I'm in, and also just with the growth that has taken place, this is a program that is going to stem out from my experiences so that I can also help people along their journey to go ahead and transition, to set those intentions, and to really make the shifts into the higher mind, the higher dimensions, and not necessarily where we just like always taking off. It's very grounding. It's very realistic. It's very practical. But again, the program is 13 Intentions to Effective Self-Leadership. So if you're interested and you want to join, of course, it is a paid program. It's 13 days live, and there will be recordings after. But again, this is my first program, so I want to make sure that I journey through with each and every person that decides to come on board. So you can click the link in the comments, or that's on the screen, or wherever you are, if it's in the link in bio, and just put your information in, and we'll be sending out details. Well, I'll be sending out details within like 48 hours this week, so that way everybody can get tuned in. All right, so with that being said, I appreciate you guys. And so today we are talking about growth and evolution. Now, of course, this is a very interesting subject to me when it came up, because, of course, everything that really comes up for me to speak about when dealing with MindShift Monday, it comes from the things that I'm experiencing. So, or if it's not what I'm actually experiencing in the moment, then it's just me recalling and seeing what's going on in the world as well. And right now we are in a very precedented time, unprecedented time where growth and evolutions are occurring all at once, right? And this started, it's been going on. Let's say that it's been going on, but right now I would say that we're getting ready to really, really tap into where we're headed. All right. And so it's just very imperative that we know that growth is imperative, right? Because growth happens in nature. All right. So I got some, let me just make sure I stay focused so that way we can stay in tune with growth and evolutions. All right. So, of course, we see growth in everything. We see growth in plants, children, ourselves, businesses, groups, communities, likes, follows. You know, everybody always look at their followers, likes, and all type of stuff, all type of numbers, right? And sometimes we can also not see growth, and this can be caused by emotions, stagnation, procrastination, sabotage, you name it, anything could have happened, right? Right. So today I just wanted to briefly discuss what the possibility is, all right? What the possibility is for growth and how we can evaluate ourselves to acknowledge growth. Okay? Because the only way we can grow first is by at least acknowledging either the reasons why it's not happening or how can we make sure that we stay on track. All right, so the reason why I chose growth and evolution is because they're kind of like the same, but they're not. They're different. Growth is vertical. Okay, growth, you grow up. Like I said, you see it in trees, we see it in people, we see it in businesses, we see it in all types of things, right? Growth is vertical. You're growing up and you grow out. You know, we see that too. You might gain a little weight. You know, trees sprout out, plants sprout out. All right. But evolutions, right? Evolution is a little bit more intentional, right? Because evolution is paying attention to the details of even the human being. Evolution is paying attention to the DNA. It's paying attention to the mind. It's paying attention to the actual body, the actual cells. It's paying attention to the words that we're speaking, our thoughts, our actions, our deeds, evolutions, and it's happening over time, right? So, and before I get too ahead of myself, we're going to go ahead and switch, make sure we stay on growth. So, sometimes, we can be hard on ourselves. So for us to evaluate ourselves and first acknowledge growth, of course, like I said, we can be hard on ourselves. Sometimes we look outside of ourselves at everything else and comparing our growth. Okay. But like, some poems say, and a lot of things that you may catch on social media is, the plant is not looking at the next plant trying to figure out how it should grow. Now, it might be a little mechanism in it that's like, it's not necessarily keeping up, but it's growing with, its friend, or it's growing with its teammate or its other plants that's around it, because that's just the program. Like there's already a program set in nature where it's like, this grows like this grows like this grows like this, right? And it could be the same thing for humans as well as for us as human beings. We grow up. You go from a infant, a fetus. You go from every little small detail, even from the point that you incarnated here. Then you have to come back out and grow up, right? And it's almost similar to what most people would call ascension as well. So, sometimes we're looking outside at everything. Yeah, so sometimes we're looking outside at everything else. Got to make sure I keep up with my notes, y'all. And comparing our growth. But it's okay to hold yourself accountable, right? You can look at things outside of you and say, dang, this looks way better, or they seem to have it all together, or this, that, and the other. But once you do that, what's the next step, right? What's the next step in your growth and evolution, in your growth? You know, is it going to be you're going to put yourself down? You know, are you going to just keep smashing yourself so that way, you know, you don't have any room to grow? You know, are you really going to give yourself room to grow? Yeah, I think that's really the biggest thing, is giving ourselves room to grow. So once you finish looking outside yourself, then you acknowledge, all right, you know, you acknowledge your originality, you acknowledge your uniqueness, you acknowledge your capability by really understanding, like, I have had ideas, I have had this, I've had you know, all type of things that you could have grown from, even, you know, experiences, right? That can be measured within your growth, because it doesn't always have to be a product, a business. You know, it could be anything, right? You have to be the observer of your life to hold yourself accountable and say, you know, what have I grown from? And really acknowledge it and appreciate it, right? So again, it's okay to hold yourself accountable if you are ready to be responsible for your growth, right? If for some reason you just feel like you haven't grown, yet you were just like 4'3" and now you're 5'3", you know, you did grow. Now, mentally, emotionally, those types of things, energetically, like spiritually, that may be a different segue. All right. And that's really what we're speaking on right now. Like, yeah, everybody got a little taller, because some people still, but we're not talking about it. But yeah, everybody has grown physically, but the growth really takes place mentally, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, all type of ways. All right. So 3 things I wanted to make sure that at least I have something that we can take away from this. So that way it's not necessarily me just talking, because again, we're experiencing life together. This is not oh, I'm here because I feel like I have something I need to teach. No, it's something more so like I have something to offer while I'm going through my journey. And I hope to be able to empower someone to do the same thing within their own life, and provide some type of enlightenment that way as well. All right. So let me trying to shut off a few things, but I guess they want me to keep it up there. Give me 1 second, y'all. Oh, here we go. All right. So let me get back to my notes. And as you can see, like, I'm not looking for perfection, even with MindShift Monday, even though this is the 13th episode. So I'm getting ready to go through an evolution myself when it comes to MindShift Monday, because there's a certain way that I want to be able to put out other types of information that really integrates our reality and prepares us for where we're heading in the world. You know, and I'm just kind of segueing right now, but there is a thing even right now where, like, okay, banks are failing. You know, basically the whole thing is we're having micro crashes, right? Microeconomic crashes, but it's very subtle, and it's like you're only going to know it unless somebody next to you is experiencing a job loss, or somebody next to you is experiencing something that is taking place within their life, or if you see yourself possibly, you know, having to switch things up, change things up, all that type of stuff. Like, and you'll see it outside because banks are failing, you know, but there's always a thin line between believing the program and actually being firm in in your intentions and where you're headed. Because just because that timeline is crashing, remember, in every recession, in every position that we've been in like this, there have been people who lost everything and then gained it back even more, right? So this is a very beautiful time right now for us to really just be intentional and take this as growth and evolution. All right. So again, I want to share 3 things that we can do right now or when we finish this live stream. And so one thing is to take an honest inventory within yourself to see if any goals you have set since this year. I'm not going to go into your past life. I'm not going to go into, the past 10 years and all that type of stuff. That's something that you will be able to do when you just do your inventory for yourself, right? But you take an honest inventory within yourself to see if any goals you have set since this year have you met, right? So even for myself, like this is a daily evaluation, and they can be micro goals. You don't have to have such lofty goals that you do get lost in the vision. Sometimes you do. Once you see the vision, once you have a higher state of mind, then you're collecting data. You bring that data back in and you set the intention and you actually task it out and say, hey, all right, in order for me to do this, this is what needs to be done. Things are going to come up, all right? Because you may be pursuing something new. You may be pursuing something that you knew it 10 years ago, but now it's like, things have switched up. So you got to learn some new stuff, right? And even for myself, it was like today I was reminded of the original plan. And so something basically brought me back to like a software that I was using all the way back in 2019. And today I literally had to shift back to that, to using that. And I know this might sound a little, but it's just an example. I literally had to shift back to that original idea. So anytime, this is also a good hack, right? So anytime you are thinking about doing something, and let's say you have an original idea. So let's just say you said you're going to run today, right? I'm going to run today and I'm going to run down this street. This is the first thing that come in your mind. Now things change, but there isn't really anything to kind of switch. So we're going to stick to the plan. I'm running today and I'm going to go out and I'm going to make this right. Okay. But then later on, once you get closer to the time, you're like, nah, I'm going to go out and make this left. What I found out is sometimes that's okay. But when you work the muscle of sticking to the original plan, things work out way better, because sometimes that could be an avoidant behavior when you decide to do the opposite of what you were originally given, whether it's an idea, whether it's anything. Sometimes the original idea is exactly what you need to do. And once you work through that, you can put in, you can go right. And then if for some reason you see, now things change, trust me, things change. But usually the original idea is what it is. It's been plenty of times I've been driving down the highway and I had the intuitive thought to get off at this exit. And I'm like, well, okay. But then I finally get to close to the exit and I'm like, no, well, traffic actually look okay. And then 2 miles down is bumper to bumper traffic. I didn't follow the original idea, So of course things are going to change while you're in motion, but the whole point is stick to the original idea. So that's just something I inserted, y'all. So so the main thing is taking an honest inventory within yourself to see if any goals you have set since this year have you met. If you have, congratulations. If you've even celebrated some goals that kicked in because you have been doing the work or you have been doing your best for the past few years, and now you're receiving the blessings and the benefits of awards and rewards and all these type of things. That's even better, right? Because now you're seeing the evolution of your progress, of your growth, all right? Because they intertwine with each other, okay? So, also, again, like I said, of course, things come up, so it's okay to acknowledge the truth. Once you acknowledge once you acknowledge the truth, what will you do to step back up powerfully and do what needs to be done? Sometimes we can acknowledge the truth and it may put us in a damper. It may actually feel like it's going to set us back because you realize, dang, I said I was going to do something and I didn't do it. Or so many things got in the way. You know, we're taking into account that things happen, right? Things happen, okay? But there's also the point where if you're still able to wake up, open your eyes, move your hands, okay, stretch your, whatever ability you have, because everybody's different, right? So whatever ability you have to be able to move about and put action towards what you said you're going to do, then most definitely do it. All right. So again, you step back up powerfully and do what needs to be done. Don't put so much on yourself, because I know I overload myself. And then when I only get one thing done, I'm like, what did you look at all of this that we didn't do? When are we going to do it? And it's just like, Allison, it's okay. Like, you did a great job today. Do you understand everything that you did? On top of that one thing, you woke up, you brushed. It's like you got to acknowledge every single thing. And that's what's going to put us in gratitude. All right. The second thing is gratitude. You have to be grateful, regardless whether or not you did or didn't. In order for you to even move powerfully in the direction that you want to move in, you have to have gratitude. If you don't have gratitude, then your attitude is going to be messed up, right? You have to set the intention for your day. You have to create the momentum for your day. You have to catalyze and bring the energy towards your day. Okay. And of course, however you believe, whether it's in God, whether it's in whatever the case may be, you bring that in and make it happen for yourself and endure. You bring the endurance so that you can make it through. All right. And sometimes you'll have to cut back on things. Like, I know I'm easily distracted because I am high energy and it's just so much information always coming. So I have to, for myself, set the intention of, like, I can't scroll too much on social media because I have too many other things that I really need to be doing. And plus, it's just a lot taken in that's distorting what I need to do. So most of the time, I like to come on there and look at pretty pictures and maybe the places that I want to go. Like, I kind of set an intention of, why am I on here? Every now and again, yeah, you're going to see something funny. You're going to do a few things. But for myself, in order for me to stay focused and clear on what I need to do, there are just certain things that I know I can't do during a period of time when I'm actually trying to meet a goal or at least push through to get something done. All right. So again, gratitude. What have you done for yourself so far that you can honestly say you're proud? I'm proud of myself for that. Make sure you do that every day. Every single day. Find something that you're proud of yourself for doing. The more you do that, the more you will receive or be able to do more, because you say, okay, I did do a few things. And then something else will come to you. Okay, yeah, I think I can work that out. I can do that. All right. The third thing is, now what do I need to do to get out of my own way? All right. So just in case you didn't meet it, just in case you did, but it just wasn't to the standard of what you were expecting. You could have been thinking that it was going to be something else and it wasn't, or you see you actually are being honest with yourself and you see the timeline of, yes, I distracted myself for 4 hours. Right? Or, yes, I looked at Netflix and binge watched the entire 3 seasons when I could have done this. Like, you got to kind of play with your, you have to kind of play with yourself when it comes down to how you're going to rework your evolutions. All right. How are you going to take the turns to develop your growth? All right. So when you're seeing yourself do things and you know it's something else that you should be doing, right? Then automatically it's like, you know what? Sometimes you need a little chill. But it's like after a while, the day literally in the first live stream that I did for MindShift Monday, I said that every day is going to feel like the Truman Show or like Naked on Netflix with Marlon Wayans, because of the fact that we are stepping into a new world, a new vibration, a new frequency, a new everything. It's literally going to feel like you're living the same thing over and over. And the reason why is because there's something that needs to change. And every single step that you take will make that change for you powerfully, right? But you just have to take steps, right? Excuse me. So yeah, and what I do as well, you have to get out your own way. And the first way that you're able to do that is by, of course, acknowledging, how do I need to get out my own way? What have I been doing that I kind of just been stalling on doing certain things, or taking care of this, or going ahead and getting this done, stuff like that. All right. So, and every day you just affirm that I'm getting out of my way. Every day, affirm that you're getting out of your way. Right. All right. So now, and I'm almost finished, guys. And I appreciate y'all for being here. If you're on the replay, appreciate y'all. All right. So now, growth, of course, again, is vertical. All right. We grow up, we grow out. No pun. I already said that. I'm reading from the notes, y'all. Okay. All right. So, but anyway, we grow up and we also grow deeper into ourselves. When you grow up, right, when you see a big, thick, tall tree, right? But then you look down and you see the roots are like spread all over the place, or they're deeply rooted, right? That means that the tree not only grew vertically, but it grew out down as well, to make sure that it has stability and foundation for it to do what it needs to do, so that it can have the resources, right? Because that's something that we need as well as we're growing, resources, right? So grow deeper into ourselves, and just like trees do, into the ground, get more firm and deeply rooted into ourselves and take off, or into the things that we're setting intentions for and take off. And also making mention that a storm, it uproots, right? It uproots things. I'm not saying that's growth, but it's literally taking something off, right? And so sometimes you just really need to be stable in your foundation for your growth to take off. We're not trying to get uprooted by the storm, but sometimes you may need to get uprooted by the storm, right? You may need that energy because you may need to be sent somewhere else, right? You might need to move. You might need to switch jobs. You might need to actually go ahead and tap into your business that you said you was going to do. Start those products, start those services, start that book, start whatever it is that you need to do. I know it's a lot of talking right now. Like, everybody is doing something. Everything is, out loud right now and in our faces. And that's just the era that we're in. We're in the age of Aquarius. We're literally coming to the age of Aquarius. Like, we're here. We made it. All right. And this is going to be dealing with a lot of information coming through. So we're going to hear a lot from a lot of people, but the staying power is dealing with growth and evolutions. This happens in every recession. All right. Businesses, even in the pandemic, businesses come, businesses go. People come, people go. This is just a life ebb and flow. But for us to have the vertical growth that we need, we really need to just deeply root ourselves and set the intentions of what it is that we plan on doing and just move forward powerfully. And just assess yourself every day and appreciate what you did do. All right. It's okay if if you did a few things that were kind of off the wall, but what were the things that you did that were on target? Celebrate that. And then the things that you didn't do, acknowledge it as, okay, I was rewarding myself, but how can I set up my rewards a little bit better? All right. Just like you got reward points on your card and all that type of stuff. Set your rewards up a little bit better. All right. And then that way, maybe while you're eating, I'm going to binge watch a few episodes or something like that. Whatever the case may be, eventually you'll get tired of yourself. You'll move out your way and you'll just go ahead and start making things happen. All right. So, and I'm saying this because these are my experiences, and it is what it is. All right. So let's see. All right. So now for evolution, and this is just going to be brief. Now, evolution is something where we are actually supposed to change. Okay? We're actually supposed to change. So we can grow all day, right? You can grow. Yeah, you can grow. But are you changing when you're growing? Okay? Are you really creating a momentum for change? All right? We're supposed to change aspects of ourselves. Our bodies, our minds, our hearts, our cells, our DNA, like these things change. As we grow, these things change. Even if we don't do anything, as we eat, and every year you have a birthday, your body is going through an evolution itself. Your cells, your DNA, every piece of us, right? And so that's even what creates aging, like these things are just compiling on each other. You're going through evolutions. Think of evolutions as like a turning wheel. A turning wheel is basically the evolutions. And every time the wheel turns, it locks in. And then you go through another evolution and it locks in. And it does it again. It does it all the time. It cycles, right? It cycles through. So that's how you can look at evolution. So imagine you're growing, and every time you grow, you lock in. And then you grow a bit more and you lock in. But are you making changes through all of those cycles of you locking in, right? Once we really become aware and conscious of the fact that that's what's happening, then we can become more intentional with, okay, today, now that I know what evolutions is and what growth looks like within myself, and I've acknowledged a few things, what do I want to do before that next lock in, right? Or before that next click. How in the movies where they show the person, going into the safe, and then once they get it, it's like, we unlocking things every single time that we go through an evolution. Every single time that we go through a cycle of our birth or a cycle period, we're unlocking things, whether it's a personal cycle, whether it's a global cycle, we are always unlocking something because evolution deals with change, right? And so I want to just bring up this beautiful quote. I don't know if I can share it. I wish I could. If y'all hang on with me, I might can. But and then after this, we're gonna go ahead and close this out. Yeah, let's see. Give me 1 second, y'all, because I really want y'all to see this. I really want y'all to see this image because I don't want to say a quote and then it's like I'm just quoting something and then that's it. I just I like pictures too, so y'all might as well get the whole shebang. So give me 1 second. And I got y'all. And I could have did this before, but y'all seeing this is what's happening in real time because I'm just keeping it 100. All right. Okay, so here we go. I'm about to bring it up for y'all. Here. All right. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and say this. I know somebody's probably like, oh my goodness, is she really doing this? Oh my. All right, y'all. And basically, just in case this doesn't work out, basically what it's saying is if you focus on evolving, you mindfully and creatively adapt to the circumstances that surround you. All right. If you focus on evolving, you mindfully and creatively adapt to the circumstances that surround you. All right. So let's see if I can bring this up. I'm just doing this now, really, for the heck of it. No, I don't know if I want to share my screen. All right, y'all. Let's see. Okay. Anyway, we're not gonna go there. Look, I wanted to show it, but basically, that's what it says. The guy name is Steve Morris. All right. And basically, he says if you focus on evolving, you mindfully and creatively adapt to the circumstances that surround you. Mindfully and creatively dealing with evolution is dealing with the changes that we need to make. So if we really just focus on evolving while we grow, growth is imperative. Growth is going to happen. It's going to happen one way or another, right? But making the changes while we grow. Okay, somebody might think I'm done growing. I'm 89. Look, as long as you're still living and breathing on earth and you have a will to do something, or you still have some gifts and abilities that you haven't explored, I understand you might be tired. Okay, talking to the 89-year-old who said, I done lived my life, I done did it all, or maybe I haven't done anything, and I'm talking to everybody, even myself. But I'm just saying, mindfully just going through and really intentionally saying in a nice, smooth, gentle way, I'm going to make sure that I acknowledge the evolutions that are taking place in my life right now. So you got a birthday coming up. You got definitely birthdays, but we go through all type of cycles. So the spring equinox is coming up. That's more of a universal global evolution, right? So we're growing, and here comes spring equinox. Click, right? It's going to be another click, but this is a click for everybody. Your birthday is a click for you. Spring equinox is a click for the world, right? For nature, for everything. And right now we are going through some really powerful energies. So this is going to be one for the books. All right. So I'm just putting it out there that growth and evolution they go hand in hand. So just be intentional about how you want to grow and evolve. All right. And then once you get that momentum, don't necessarily let your foot off the gas. Just kind of find your momentum and just keep going. All right, find your momentum and keep going. Okay. So honestly, that's all I have for today. Hold on, one more thing, right? So the definitions also for evolution are pretty interesting as well. So basically, the second definition, you can look this up, it's on Google. All right, evolution, the gradual development of something, especially from a simple to a more complex form, right? And then, of course, they give you examples of other words: development, advancement, growth, rise, progress, progression. Then also dealing with chemistry, the giving off of a gaseous product or of heat, right? So why would this be in chemistry as well? That's the body as well, even though that's biology and all that type of stuff. But chemistry is still dealing with us, period, right? So giving off a gaseous product or of heat. It can be anything outside of us as well. And then also a pattern of movements or maneuvers. All right. So a pattern of movements or maneuvers. Like I told you, evolutions happen, just like cycles do. So once you get to that click, once you start looking at the world a certain way, which is why this is MindShift Monday. Once you start looking at the world a certain way, first you start with yourself. So you say, all right, my birthday is in 6 months and 3 days and two nights or whatever, whenever it is, or it's next year because you already had it. All right, so I'm in my I'm going through my evolutions, and by the time I get to the next one, I want to make sure I'm mindfully paying attention to the changes that I'm making. So when you look up, of course, we look in the mirror and we like, oh, I'm getting older. Oh, I've grown so much. I've gotten taller, but when you really pay attention, like the changes that you are intentionally making to really become not even unrecognizable, really. You want to see yourself, but you want to see that's like more of yourself. You want to see what you're really made of, type thing. This is where we are when it comes down to evolution. Okay. So that's that. I think I'm through. Outside of that, yeah, giving rise to the sense of development. That's it. So again, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in to MindShift Monday. Hopefully this was helpful. Like I said, the information that is good for you, you take it with you. Information that you feel somebody else may need, you can share it with them, share this video with them. Like, subscribe. Most of all the live streams will be on YouTube from now on. And then of course I'll be dropping clips. And yeah, we also going to be, shifting gears a bit to bring more practical information about everyday things that are going on so that people can just continue to, again, grow and evolve, lead and learn, all those things. Also, again, the 13 intentions to effective self-leadership we'll start March 27th. It's for 13 days. It's a live program because I want to go through it with each person that decides to join. And we're going to journey through effective self-leadership. And by the time we come out of that, I feel like we should definitely be unrecognizable, but at the same time recognizing what we're really going to move forward to do in the world, in our life, and just for ourselves to reflect that and hopefully empower other people to do the same, because that's where we at. All right, so the link is in the comments or in my bio, whichever page you're on. I really appreciate your time, and I will see y'all soon. So, all right, later.
about the money and the power. It's all about the money and the power. It's all about the money and the power. It's all about the money and the power. It's your boy Bliss.
Shawty, ain't shit changed, it's just a different day. I'm working like a slave, I bend my knees and then I pray. It's like we living for today and ain't no hope for tomorrow. Just gunshots and mamas crying and broken bottles. Really this ain't living, knowledge that's a given. I can't fight the feeling, we trapped like a prison.
If you know what I'm saying, do your homework. If you're trapped doing numbers, you got your own work. Yeah, I make the money, but the money don't make me. Jealousy and envy, now these niggas hate me. Plotting on another man. I don't think you understand. Then you won't eat. I'm just trying to hustle, trying to stay on my feet. It's a cold world, ain't shit sweet. Survival of the fittest when you out in these streets. It's all about the money and the power. It's all about the money and the power. It's all about the money and the power. It's all about the money and the power.
We got them choppers that'll have you flying high. No private jets, just high and by in the clouds flying by. I'm on the airlift, man, I'm out of here. Loving how the world is one when a new dance come out. That part be so hard, that way get paid. Lyrically, telepathically, and magnetizing everything. You know I'm from the A. We getting bread, we eating cake, so it's okay. I got my mind on my money on my. You gotta be there if you really want it. Gotta survive to thrive. That's just the way it is. And if you knew your purpose, then you would truly
If you
live.
don't work, then you won't eat. I'm just trying to hustle, trying to stay on my feet. It's a cold world, ain't shit sweet. Survival of the fittest when you out in these streets. It's all about the money